The main sort of point that I started off with was I work in the theatre and I wanted to use some sort of theatrical way in my artwork, and also I wanted to do something that was totally different to what a lot of people have seen. I'm really interested and keen on the whole underwater life, fish, coral, whatnot. And while I was doing that, I came across an artist called Christopher Boltanski, and he does a lot of artworks with lighting and darkness and shadow and whatnot, which he also uses his main concept as macabre, which is the whole idea of you don't know whether it's good or evil, the yin-yang sort of thing. And that's when I came across the anglerfish, which is a deep sea fish that lives in the darkest part of the ocean, and there's no light at all, but yet it has a light attached to it, which I was like, great, cool. It's a fish, it has a light attached to it, I can do that, and then had the whole macabre idea behind it, because it is in the depth and it is in the darkness. It has this light, which is, everyone assumes, oh, light, cool, go towards the light. It's a bright thing, it's a happy thing, but really it's used to lure in its prey to eat. One of the hardest things would probably be the fact that I didn't have any previous welding, metalwork skills whatsoever, apart from a term's worth of metalwork in Year 7. And I found an artist called Stephen Coburn, which is a metalwork artist who works up on Mossman. And I went to a meeting with him, and he basically went through my concept and then talked about the materials that I should possibly use, because I went rummaging through our metalwork room, and he basically said, yep, you can't use that, can't weld that, can't use that. So that was the first meeting with him, and then the second meeting with him was how to put it all together, and he taught me how to use the welding objects and the welding bits and pieces. So I did that, and then the third time I went back to him, we kind of sat there and welded it all up and bent things. And my art teacher was really good in helping me come up with my concept and my ideas and how I can elaborate that and push that further. Another great thing that one of my art teachers suggested was the artist Christopher Boltanski, who was also a main driving force of my concept, and then Franz Klein as well on top of that. One of my main ideas that I really wanted to follow was how to use lighting in my artworks. That was another thing that my teacher was really good at with, okay, you want to use lighting, but how do you incorporate that into, oh, it's just a pretty light, to what is the meaning behind that light as well, what's the concept and what sort of stuff. One of the rules and regulations with the guidelines of major works and your main body of work is you're not allowed to have glass, which was a very big thing and very big problem that I had to face, was because majority of lighting uses glass in it. And I came across a new light bulb that had came out that had glass around it, but it was an LED. And LED doesn't need gas to hold inside that glass thing, so I ended up having to smash the glass around the light bulb. When I first envisioned it to be in this big white open space with just it sitting in the middle, and it creates sort of this shadow behind it that adds to the concept behind the whole macabre idea of dark and good. So when the audience is standing within the artwork and observing it, they are, looking at this bright light, but then behind them, they've got their own dark shadow behind it. The other thing was the water lights that are both underneath the fish, projecting on the floor and then projecting up, helps create that shadow as well, but then also helps you feel the mood of what you're supposed to be feeling. Probably one of the main advice that I would give you is sit down and write all your ideas out, everything that you possibly can first. Don't even look at the rules, don't even look at your guidelines, just sit down and write what you could do if you could do anything, and then go through how you can then do that with the guidelines. So I'd suggest probably be open-minded to everything, every opportunity, every possibility that you possibly can.